I'm going to give this just a couple minutes to see if I can get anybody to join me. The title tonight, it's been on my heart for a couple days, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share, right? Let's be real. Let's share from the heart. And I think that's what we need more of, actually. People to be transparent, people to share their journeys. So got the music playing for a minute while I'm waiting for y'all to come live. I know it takes Facebook a couple minutes to give you a notification if you subscribe to me. If you're on, click share with your friends, because this conversation needs to happen more often, actually. It's actually going to come from a place of doing a lot of reflecting on myself lately. As I age closer to 50, oh my gosh, 50. It's crazy when I say that word, 50. You do get to a point in your life where you start to do a lot of reflection. And then I don't know if you guys saw my time hop this morning, but it's kind of an interesting day for me because the story is, and Facebook. 7 years ago today, I joined Facebook. Here's the crazy part about that. I was one of the last people in my family to join. Can you believe that? We were at a family campground, and everybody's talking about Facebook. And I was like, and my older brother Scott and I both were like, we don't need this. Finally caved, and actually I've used it a lot, honestly. And my very first picture on Facebook was my sister and I. And it was from one of my daughter's dance recitals. And when I saw it pop up and I realized that it was my first picture on Facebook, it's like that. To me, it's just a sign. Do you ever get those moments of signs, you guys, where it's like, wow. So just that moment in time where, I don't know which way I'm going with this, you guys, so bear with me here. I can't see any comments, so I don't know if anybody's down with me or not, but I'm just going to share from my heart. And then, you know what? Hopefully you guys will share this video with other people, because I feel like it's a conversation that does need to happen. So growing up, I was a very shy person. I know that's so hard to believe for you guys. As Michelle Colburn says, people didn't know who I was in high school. I was just a follower, and I was just really quiet and shy. And then what happened to me was, I got out of high school, got married, and back then I didn't have any confidence, none at all. I mean, no confidence, you guys, at all. And so I went through some very traumatic things. I made some bad choices. I'm not going to lie about it. And in doing that, I kind of feel like I got to a point where I started to feel like I had to prove myself. And it was because of the bad choices I had been making, honestly, that I kind of feel like, looking back now, that I was driven to prove myself so that people would, like me, I guess, so to speak. And in doing that, I realized a couple things. And actually, this all comes from a conversation that my daughter and I had a few days ago. And it was something that she was struggling in. And this is what she said to me. She said, well, it has to be perfect. And I said, why? And I said, nothing is ever perfect. And she said, well, you did that to me. I was like, I did that to you. And she was like, yeah, you made me want everything perfect. Oh, whew. I had to eat crow, and we had to have some conversation. And what I said to her was, number one, ain't nothing perfect but Jesus Christ. That's number one. Second of all, so we had this conversation, and the example that came out was, she came home with a B+ from school, right? And so I said, good job. Now let's get you that A. If you're a parent, you probably couldn't relate to that, right? And it's because we see the potential in our children. We see the potential in people. So I praised her, I thought, giving her kudos, good job. But then right away said, here's the A. And that's what we're taught to do. We're taught to say, okay, here's the next level. But here's the key. This is what I did wrong in that situation. And I find myself now looking at other situations and really kind of realizing I'm doing this. So how to have a conversation with my mentor about this. So here's what I'm doing, and maybe you can relate to this. So when you see somebody and you see the potential in them, right? You kind of have an expectation of the sense of, okay, they can get to here. So whatever that here is for that person. And so we expect them to be here. And maybe they don't really want to go here. And that was what I realized with my daughter was I could have given her, okay, now let's get you the A. But number one, why should she get the A? And number two, how as a parent do I help her have the drive to do it herself? Because see, I'm just an outside source. I'm the parent with the expectation, yes, but she had to be the one to do the work. And after this conversation, I started looking at it. Sometimes I'm that person that I see so much potential in somebody that my expectations that they see the same thing, and maybe they're not ready for it yet, or maybe that's really not their end goal. And here's the real key that I really wanted to share with you tonight. And I'm saying this from my heart, is if they're not asking me, it's really none of my business. And it's really none of my opinion. My job as a friend, as a business partner, whatever that is to partner up with that person, right? I'm a business owner, and Pam is my partner. But Pam can't do the work for Dana Glass. And I get to choose what I do for Dana Glass. That's because I'm self-employed. So when my daughter and I were talking about this, I was like, wow, I really have to look at, because if you're disappointed in somebody or you're frustrated, number one, guess what? They're human. I'm human, you're human. We all are going to make mistakes. We're all not going to live up to somebody's expectations. And so I'm really apologizing if I've ever made you feel like that, because my job, or not really my job, my goal was really to inspire you to be the best you. Honestly. So now I'm looking at how I even talk to people, because that is huge, you guys. I've actually been practicing with a couple things. I've had a couple opportunities lately, and I'm really excited about those. So I've realized some things, that when that person's asking you for your opinion, then you can give them the X, Y, Z. But if they're not asking you, you can say whatever you want, but you can't have an expectation of them that it's not theirs. They have to have whatever they want for their life. You are the best by leading by example, and you're the best when you just truly try to inspire them by bringing out the good in them, right? By getting them to see maybe how they can get to the next level in their life, how to get that A, if they're even striving for that A. You can be that person to put it out there. Hey, did you know you can get the A? And here's how I think you could get the A, if they're wanting to hear that. But if they're not asking you, really, that's none of your business, and it's not your opinion. But as a parent, I think we have to look at not just telling our children, go get that A, but really looking at the child. Who am I talking to? What is their personality? And how do I get them to see the value of them getting the A? They're the ones that are going to do the work. So expectations of other people, our disappointments in other people, really is because we're holding them to a standard, on a pedestal maybe even. Have you ever been in a church where, maybe the pastor let you down, or somebody in the board let you down, and you're just like, you're devastated? Guess what? They're human. I think we need a little more mercy, grace, and forgiveness. and I'm going to be that example. A lot of people have given me mercy, grace, and forgiveness, and that is true love, really. That is really what it's all about, honestly. So at the end of the day, it's your life, my life. We all have our journeys, right? And if you surround yourself with people that you can say, hey, like I had to look at myself about this. Then I had to have a conversation with my mentor. I'm like, look, this is what I realize. I'm having this conversation, and really understanding that I can't want more for someone than they want for themselves, and really loving them for who they are. When I was in Mary Kay, I remember as a sales director being taught this, that when someone comes to a meeting and they haven't been around for a while, you don't judge them. You don't make them feel like, oh, where have you been? We've missed you. No, out of love, you say, oh, it's so nice to see you tonight. Don't make them feel worse than they already feel, right? So that's my experience. This is my journey. This is my lesson that I'm learning right now. I never want anybody to feel like, oh, I didn't live up to her expectations. I just know the potential and the greatness in you. And my job is just really to be your friend and support and partner up and help you to believe in yourself. So thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And always be you and smile. Keep smiling.